So you're thinking about making a move to Friendswood, Texas? Well, you are in the right place, my friend, because in this video, I'm going to cover the top 8 neighborhoods that you definitely need to know about if Friendswood, Texas is in your near future. I'm gonna take you guys out to some of the best neighborhoods here so you can see firsthand what it's like for yourself to live here and call this place your home. I'll share with you some important market data and some insights and some various things to do here in the Friendswood area, and we're gonna get after it right now. Hey, if this is your first time at my channel, first of all, thank you so much for being here. We cover the entire greater Houston area from suburb to suburb, from city to city, so you can know exactly what to expect whenever you do eventually relocate down here to the Houston area. So whether you are 9 days out or 9 months out, it doesn't matter. Feel free to give us a call. I will leave all of my information in the description box down below, and we would be delighted and honored to help you make a smooth move to Houston. Now, let's take a closer look at Friendswood. All right, guys, so before we dive into Friendswood, you can see I have it highlighted here on the map, but there are a few things that I want you to know that are very important when it comes to the major freeways that are here in the Houston area. Starting off, we'll talk about 610. 610 is the inside loop, the inner loop. When somebody refers to moving, I want to move inside the loop of 610. Well, what they're referring to is moving inside 610, or like you have Midtown, Uptown, Downtown, you have the East Side or Edo, you have the Heights, things like that. So this is one of the very first loops that was ever created or built or constructed in the Houston area. So you'll find a lot of older homes inside the loop. Some are beautiful, some are okay, just depending on where you're at. But anyways, that's one of the very first loops is 610. And then the second biggest loop we have is Beltway 8. Beltway 8, AKA Sam Houston Parkway, which goes all the way around the city of Houston as it kept expanding further and further out. You'll see that it pretty much covers, it goes further out all the way up to Spring, or close up to Spring. Well, actually Spring kind of comes down here, but then, we're getting closer to Jersey Village, Missouri City. Sugarland isn't too far off of there. Pearland, same thing. Deer Park is right here. So this is going to be your Beltway 8, or AKA Sam Houston Parkway. And then finally, we have the more recent and most largest loop of them all is 99. So 99 doesn't quite make a complete loop. I do know there is a proposed area somewhere around here. I'm not exactly sure where they're going to connect all these freeways if they ever do, but there has been proposed for, I swear, almost decades now to complete this, or a decade or so to complete this. But anyways, so you'll notice we have that as the largest loop. So 99 pretty much covers all the way out to Katy, getting close into the Woodlands up here on the north side of town, out to Mont Belvieu, past Crosby, LaPorte, and then kind of just tapers off right in the LaPorte, Deer Park, Seabrook area, or I would say LaPorte area. And then next we have Interstate 10. So we have I-10 that's gonna make this kind of dissection. You can see we're kind of making a bullseye here, which is kind of cool. So on the west side of I-10, this direction was going to take you to San Antonio. And then on the east side on I-10 is gonna take you to Beaumont or Louisiana, things like that. So easy access to get in and out of the city of Houston. And then finally, we have I-45. If you're ever in Houston, you are not going to be able to avoid 45 South or 45 North. So you can see 45 kind of runs straight through downtown and keeps going southeast of Houston all the way into the Galveston Island. You'll definitely be traveling on this one day or another. You'll be on this road. So 45, you can kind of see this whole thing kind of makes a bullseye. I've just now noticed that. It's really cool. But anyways, you'll see Friendswood is right here. So Friendswood is right here, sandwiched in between Pearland and League City, and very close to Interstate 45. So you can either go northbound to downtown Houston, or you can either go southbound to the League City area, or even getting into Galveston Island. And then if you need to get to downtown, right here, so smack in the middle of downtown, you're looking probably, I want to say about 25 minutes or so, give or take. Traffic, of course. I mean, Houston traffic here is just god awful. I promise you, it's terrible. It's one of the biggest cons here about Houston. Secondly, you'll find on 45, your closest airport from Friendswood is going to be Hobby Airport, which is kind of right in here. So Hobby Airport, getting from Friendswood to Hobby is going to take you I'd say about 20 minutes, really, about 20 minutes to get to Hobby Airport. Southwest Airlines is one of the major airliners that flies out of Hobby Airport. If you need international flights, or let's say like Delta or United, more than likely you're gonna have to go all the way up here to the north side, up here where Bush Intercontinental Airport is. This is the international airport. It's a massive, massive thing over here, huge airport. So all your international flights are gonna be out of here. Hobby does have international flights, I will say. I mean, Southwest flies to Hawaii now. They'll fly down to Mexico, like Cancun, things like that. So those short international trips are here, but if you're looking for longer international trips, like flying to the Maldives, or if you need to fly to Taiwan, or wherever it is you need to go, Europe, you're gonna be flying out of IAH, or Bush Intercontinental. All right, so now that you guys are kind of familiar with the infrastructure here with the Houston freeways, let's zoom in a little bit on Friendswood itself, because that's what our topic is for the day, is Friendswood. So there's a couple things that I want you to know. One of them very important, actually. So you can see the outline here that Google has made, and Friendswood, for all intents and purposes, actually kind of extends a little bit. So there's a couple of things that you absolutely need to know when purchasing a home here in the Friendswood area. One being that the county is split, or the city is split into two separate counties, I should say. So we kind of have the Harris County side, and I'll put an H right here for Harris County. And then the remaining side of Friendswood, we have Galveston County. So why am I pointing this out to you? Because it's critical that you understand the differences between the two of where you fall, or where you buy a property in. So if you buy a property in the Harris County side of Friendswood, you are not going to be required to carry what's called windstorm insurance, because you're not considered a coastal county. However, you will not be zoned to Friendswood Independent School Districts. You will be zoned to what's called CCISD, or Clear Creek Independent School District, which honestly is still a really phenomenal school district. It's just a much larger district than Friendswood itself. And then on the flip side here, if you purchase a home in the Galveston County side of Friendswood, you will be zoned to Friendswood Independent School District, which is great. However, the downfall of that is you will be required to carry windstorm insurance. Galveston County is considered a windstorm county, or a coastal county, in the eyes of an insurance provider, an insurance carrier. That's like your Allstates, your nationwide insurances, and things like that. So those carriers consider Galveston County a coastal county. And so if you're financing a home, they will require you, your lender will require you to carry windstorm insurance. So just be mindful of that whenever you are purchasing a property in the coastal, quote unquote, coastal counties. There's not a significant difference in price when it comes to insurance. You know, if you buy one in Harris and you buy one in Galveston County, just know it does have some effect on it. So it might add, you know, let's say you're purchasing a $500,000 house in Galveston County or Harris County, right? It may add an additional $1,000 to your premium yearly. So, I mean, some may think that's a lot, some may not. It just really depends, but it's not going to be a drastic measure of like, okay, it's, you know, now I'm in windstorm, or now I'm in a coastal county, so my insurance is going to be $5,000 more than it would be if I was in Harris County. That's simply not the case. So just be mindful of that, because if you are on the verge of affordability of like, hey, you're pre-approved for a certain amount, sometimes insurance can kick you out of that approval amount, because the insurance and the taxes, which we'll get into when we start getting into the certain neighborhoods here in Friendswood, but the insurance could actually absolutely make the house unaffordable when it comes to the pre-approval letter from your lender. So just something to be mindful of. Okay, so next I want to talk about the major roads, or the main roads that flow through the actual city of Friendswood. So we have, coming off of from Pearland, which 518 keeps going, but this main road right here that I'm highlighting is called FM, Farm to Market 518. So 518 will flow through directly downtown Friendswood, and then next up we have 528. 528 will flow either through Alvin, and then it converges or merges into what's called NASA Road 1 once you cross I-45. So if you are in the Friendswood area, then you need to get to Pearland. Your closest route to get to Pearland is going to be taking 518 down through there. Or if you're closer to 45, your probably better route to avoid all these lights, this would just take 45 up to Beltway 8. and then you'll cross on over to 35 and you'll be right here in the heart of Pearland, old downtown Pearland. Basically, in a nutshell, of the two major roads that you need to know about. Now there is Bay Area Boulevard. Bay Area Boulevard runs down through here, and then once you cross 518, it does get into what's called League City. So League City is another one that we're gonna cover on another video for another day. But Bay Area Boulevard, you'll have it'll come over here to 45 where all of the food, and we'll talk about what's right here in this section called Baybrook Mall. So I would say the third major road here would be Bay Area Boulevard. Okay, so now that you're really familiar with the main roads that flow through here, let's go ahead and dive on into what looks like in downtown Friendswood area. So I'll zoom in here. There's not really too much going on. They have beautified this whole area, by the way. So if you haven't seen my video yet covering the Friendswood, I did a Friendswood vlog tour. I'll post a picture up here and I'll probably link it up there as well. But we did an extensive overview of the city of Friendswood. So if you haven't checked out that vlog, make sure you check it out. But zooming back in, we'll see we have downtown Friendswood. We have a public library here, Friendswood Friends Church, Perry and Sons Grill, which is Perry Steakhouse came from, which is really nice. Pelican Lunch and Breakfast. We have Third Coast Gaming Centers. Let me see, there's one thing, Dumbros Coffee, if you're into like some really nice coffee. If you're a coffee connoisseur, this is a good place for you to go to. And then there is, next to City Hall, which is over here, is Stevenson Park. The city actually does a lot of the events. They host a lot of events here in Stevenson Park. But it's a really cool place to take your kids to. They have tons of different playgrounds. I think there's like 4 different playgrounds that kind of look just like this. They have an Olympic-sized swimming pool, which is really cool. And then if you are a resident of Friendswood, you can actually purchase season passes to get into the pool and have fun that we don't have to pay, but it's still cheap either way. I think it's like $3 or $5 or something like that for the family, but you could purchase pretty inexpensive season pass tickets to the actual pool itself. But they have pavilions here that you can also rent out, which is nice. So if you're hosting big birthday parties or things like that, or just different events, you can rent these pavilions out. Super, super cool. You can see this little gazebo right here. They do a lot of like concerts in the park. They'll host here, Santa in the park. So they'll have live bands out here, and just a full fun time. And then there's a parking lot kind of off to the right or to the left that they'll have several food trucks and farmers markets out there throughout all of these events. It's definitely something worth checking out if you're ever in the area, or if you ever call this place home. You definitely want to check out Stevenson Park. It's a really cool park to go to. They have splash pads for the kiddos that they love to have a great time there. And then we have tennis courts, basketball courts, and pickleball courts, and all that fun stuff. You can see here in this little picture, they're decking out for the Christmas celebrations. They go all out with their decorations on Christmas. They even have a 4th of July celebration, but it's really, really cool. I was honestly impressed my first time ever coming to a Friendswood fireworks show. I was like, well, how good can a fireworks show actually be from a small town? But man, let me tell you, I was thoroughly impressed by their show. I really was. They did a phenomenal job, better than most bigger cities actually. So they did a really good job at their fireworks shows for the July 4th celebration. All right, so we'll get out of Stevenson Park. Let's go ahead and head over to this area right here. So I'm gonna zoom out for you so you see where I'm at. So we have 45 coming down through here. I'm gonna zoom in right on Bay Area and 45. So this area, all this stuff that's highlighted in yellow on the left side of I-45 is going to be what's called Baybrook Mall. So the Baybrook Mall area. So this mall is absolutely huge. I mean, it's a massive mall. There's everything that you could think of when it comes to food, different shopping. You want upscale shopping, upscale dining experiences, like it's all gonna be right here, and it's really cool. There's a lot of things to do here, especially for the kids. So let's get into some of that real quick. I'll show you guys. So they have a Dave & Buster's here. If you've never heard of Dave & Buster's, which I hope you have heard of it, but it's a fun thing to take your kids to so they can play games all day long. It's kind of expensive, so be prepared. Oh, this is a nice view of the yard actually that's in between, or it's in Baybrook, but I'll show you, I'll get into that here in just a minute. But yeah, they have some really good food at Dave & Buster's, and the kids just love to have fun. And us adults too, you know, if we can have fun, we're allowed to have fun, right? Our fun is really watching our kids have fun, but at the end of the day, we can have fun too, come on. All right, then the Star Cinema Grill, this place is pretty cool. So this is they have a really nice bar and grill area, and then the seats kind of recline all the way back, so they'll give you some blankies. Check this out. So this is one of the parks or inside the yard that I was telling you in Baybrook. So they'll put on a movie for the kids. So sometimes during the weekends, right, they'll have all of the kids out here, all the families out here, and they'll play a movie. This one looks like it's probably Beauty and the Beast or something like that. But the kids out here love it. And then you can go eat. They have a little bar called Bar Louie, if I can find it. So if you needed to grab yourself something to drink, yeah, Bar Louie. So if you need to grab yourself something to drink while your kids are out there playing on the turf area, you can sit on the patio. You can kind of see a picture. Oh, here's a good picture of the patio area. It's inside, and then you can see the patio back there. So that's Bar Louie area, and you have a direct line of view to see the turf area, so you can keep an eye on your children as they're running around, having fun, making friends. And as I mentioned, there's tons of things to eat here. We have the Rapport, Perry's Steakhouse, Fogo de Chao, Gloria's Latin Cuisine. You name it, it's there. And then they also have a burger joint that's somewhere around here. But all the shopping here, we have the major shopping. We have Dillard's, Macy's, JC Penney's, they have Pandora, Abercrombie. I didn't even know that was still a thing. Forever 21, American Eagle. Didn't know that was still a thing either. I guess it's still around. They have an Apple store, so that's gonna be your closest Apple store. So if you ever need to get to Apple for some reason, that's your closest Apple store from pretty much everywhere, even League City, Pearland, or whatever. That's gonna be your Apple store that you're gonna go to. Let's see, we have Macy's gift shop. I mean, there's tons of things to do here in the Baybrook Mall area. Tons of food, furniture stores, rooms to go. That's a nice place to go shopping for some furniture. Very expensive though. And then on the other side of 45, we have Webster, but we have Lowe's Home Improvement, which is considered the Baybrook Mall area, Best Buy, Baybrook Gateway. They're building all kinds of stuff. So you have a really congested area. I wouldn't say too much congested, but you have a very extensive amount of options to choose from, a lot of different retail shops. So it's definitely, you have no shortages of things to do or what to look for. You have Cheesecake Factory over here for food. And then what's really nice on the other side of 45, you're starting to get into more of the Webster area, but you have hospitals, HCA Houston Healthcare Clear Lake with all the specialty cares like cardiologists, neurosurgeons, things like that, UTMB healthcare clinics, and the Clear Lake Hospital campus. I mean, it's all kind of really close by to the Friendswood area. And then as I mentioned, we have that 528 that kind of just flows through, turns into NASA Road 1. Once you cross over 45, well, check it out, Space Center, Houston, right here. Houston, we have a problem. All right, well, let's talk about real estate for a second. Let me show you guys some statistics about Friendswood, overall, the average sales prices here, and we're gonna go back to the last 5 years. So let's check that out. Let's go over to my screen, and you will see here, so I pulled data for the past 5 years. We have 2019 all the way to 2024. 2024 hasn't closed out yet, so these numbers are gonna be slightly off until it does close, but it looks like we're on track. So 2019, the average sales price for a single family home was around $350,000. In 2020, it jumped up to $372. 2021, it jumped up to $418. 2022 jumped up to $481. 2023 jumped up to $526. And then 2024, we're sitting right around $507 almost. So I would say that my best guess for this one is we are on track to either meet or beat 2023's average sales price numbers. And let's do some quick math on that. So if you purchased a home or have lived here several years since 2019, and you're purchasing a $350,000 home, which is an average price back then, and compare that to today's age, you're sitting on some good equity. So you're looking at about a 45% increase in your home's value on average here. So those who have houses here, have lived here since 2019 or maybe 2020, you're sitting on a good amount of equity. And I do expect the continuation of growth here in this town because they are continuously adding more developments as they can. They have a city center that's coming up. Actually, I'll show that to you guys right now. So they have a city center that's gonna be right here. So this is the Baybrook Mall. So they're gonna build like a little mini version of Baybrook Mall, and it's gonna be on the Harris County side. Let's see, let me zoom in. So we have 528, that's Emmons. Let me find Bay Area. Here we go, so that's Bay Area and 528. The city center is gonna be right next to Brookside Elementary. So they're about to build, like, all of this is about to get built out. Oh, it's probably gonna be all right there. They're gonna build all this out. So this is going to be the Friendswood FW, and we're gonna put city center. So the city center is gonna be really cool. It's a 110 acre project. Friendswood City Center, you get the idea, but it's gonna be a 110 acre project. They're gonna donate about 40 to 50 acres of property to turn into a park. They're gonna donate that to the city of Friendswood, and then they're gonna have mixed use development for the rest of it. So you'll have tons of different shopping options, tons of different dining options, the parks. So you have another park that's gonna be, we're not really competing against Stevenson Park, but this is gonna be one of the, they're trying to turn this into a little miniature Baybrook Mall, but actually located in the city of Friendswood, which I forgot to tell you guys this. So the Mall of Baybrook is an interesting characteristic, by the way. So the Mall of Baybrook is physically located in the city of Houston, but it has a Friendswood address. So that's why we're gonna include it into our Friendswood videos. But it's interesting, I'm not sure exactly why. Maybe it had something to do with arguments against development or disagreements against development decades and decades ago. So maybe that's why they're trying to build a city center now over here inside Friendswood city limits. I'm not exactly sure, but I just wanted to give you guys that interesting characteristic or interesting fact that not very many people know about. But the city center here is definitely going to bring in and attract more individuals, more people to this community or to this city. So I would definitely keep an eye on this development. I think they're breaking ground right now, and they are expecting, I believe, within the next couple of years to pretty much have it almost all built out. Maybe the next 2 to, what's that? I would say put a timeline on it, say about 4 years before it's completely 100% built out and done. But it's definitely going to attract more people here. It's going to attract, it's probably going to increase home values around here. Think about it if you live, you know, on this side or even close to, you know, 518 and 528 in East Parkwood Drive. Like, it's going to attract a lot of people, and I believe this development here alone is going to make, you know, Friendswood as a whole just even more attractive than it already is. Okay, so let's zoom out and find our first neighborhood that we're going to be talking about, which is going to be all about West Ranch. We're going to talk about West Ranch. So West Ranch is down 518, kind of going towards League City. This right here is part of League City. So we have 518, main road, 518, 528. We're going to keep going south on 518. Here's 45 over here, but we're going to come over here on this side. So you see West Boulevard, Friendswood Lakes, and Falcon Ridge. And then we have Centennial Park. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna talk about our first neighborhood is West Ranch. West Ranch kind of does something like this. Here's all the communities around here, or all the housing here, and West Ranch. And then it turns into Falcon Ridge. And then that's the park. So that is basically West Ranch. So West Ranch is it's probably not the largest community, but it is one of the most popular communities. And what's interesting is you'll have property here ranging from $500,000 all the way up to $1.5 and $2 million. It just really depends. And then, oh, I forgot to mention, we have another side of West Ranch. So we have two sides. This is the older side, and then that's the newer side. There is no development here anymore. There's no more new construction. They're done with it. West Ranch is completely finished out, and I think they finished that a couple years ago. So there is no more new development, which is a downfall about West Ranch. However, there is another community right over here that is building, Avalon. Avalon is a newer construction community, which we'll cover in another video. But West Ranch is one of the communities here that we're going to talk about. So let's dive into that. All right, guys. So I have here highlighted West Ranch, and as you can see, we have several different properties. We got 27 different properties right now for sale. We have, looks like 2 active leases, one for $3,200 a month and one for $8,000. But let's look at the sales. So this one just came on the market for $465,000. This is a 2,500 square foot. This is probably one of the cheapest ones that I've ever seen in West Ranch that is currently for sale. I want to say maybe like a week ago, this was the cheapest one for $500K. Scrolled through some of these. I mean, you can get some pretty decent properties for around the $500K for West Ranch. You don't have to spend, millions of dollars just to look at a property. Look, this one even has a pool. So this is $560,000 in West Ranch with a beautiful pool in the background or backyard with a nice little slide. Looks like some nice hardwood floors going on with the stone fireplace, a gas fireplace, gas log. And then nice view from the kitchen or from the dining area, breakfast area. And then we have some nice cabinetry here with some, looks like Venetian gold granite countertops. I mean, overall, I mean, it looks pretty well kept and pretty nice. And we have a covered patio back here, and it looks like they have the cool decking whenever they did their pool. You have a shed, nice. And it looks like you're kind of right here on the, where it curves off. So you're not just in a smaller backyard. See how their neighbors are, how they have small backyards. This one's sitting kind of like at a cul-de-sac, but it's not really a cul-de-sac because it just curves off and keeps going down to another street or another direction. It makes like a 90-degree turn. So you're gonna have a lot more yard space like this one does. So this is a very nice piece of property, very nice home with a pool. Pools today are just so expensive to build. So if you want a pool, ideally you'd want to find a house that already has a pool installed, because I promise you, this pool right here, you're probably looking anywhere from $120,000 to $140,000 to build. And I'm not exaggerating, like they have gotten out of control when it comes to pricing of pools today. So ideally, the perfect situation, you'd want to have a pool already installed if that's what you're looking for, is a pool. All right, so let's move on to the next one. We have, $595, that one's active. $600,000, $625, that one looks pretty good. This one's $655. We've already looked at one in the 5s and 6s, so let's look up, let's check this one out, $758. So this one's nice. You have that kind of natural look coming in with the floors, gray walls, gray. Some say gray is outdated. Now this is more my style. I like this right here. The black wall looks beautiful, very contrasting type colors, and it has the natural wood floors or natural look. And then the cabinets here, the kitchens. It's too much white for me, but hey, everyone has their own taste, right? You have the white, at least probably quartzite or quartz countertops with your gas stove top. Looks like two separate ovens, two double ovens there. And then again with the stone wall fireplace. Let's check out the backyard and see what we got going on here. Look, so they put a pool rendering in case you wanted to install a pool. There's no pool back here, but they made sure to put a rendering for you just in case you did want to do one. Hey, what's nice about this though, you do have your pergola out here and then a slight covered vaulted patio right there, it looks like. But you have an outdoor kitchen. But overall, this property looks pretty nice. It's 4,000 square foot, 5 bedrooms, 4 bath, listed at $758,000 for a 4,000 square foot home. And I mean, it's pretty good for 5 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms. I'd say that's about average compared for the square footage. As far as the square footage is concerned, I'd say that's about average. All right, so now we're scrolling through here, and then we have a 935. So it's a 5 bedroom, 4 bath home, 4,100 square foot, 5 bedroom, 4 bath, 4,300 square foot, 999,000, basically $1 million, $100 shy of $1 million, 5 bedrooms, 5.5 bathrooms, 5,300 square foot. I want you to remember the square footage whenever I give you guys another neighborhood here in just a minute, but we have 999,000. Let's check out what this one looks like. So we got a 900,000 one, not too big of a backyard, but plenty of room for a pool if you wanted a pool. Yeah, you have some really, some nice colors here, mahogany colored floors or cherry colored floors. You have a dark area for, oh look, this is kind of cool. I like that. That's kind of nice. Reminds me of like the old days, the old offices that you would see back in the day, rather than just new. Everything's just grayed out. I feel like gray is kind of just outplayed at this point, thanks to the HGTV networks and the Magnolia networks and all that good stuff. Everyone with farmhouse this, farmhouse that. I feel like it's kind of outplayed. You guys tell me what you think in the comments. Is gray outdated and outplayed? And if so, what is your favorite colors when it comes to themes inside your house? But it looks pretty good. So that one was 999,000 for 5,300 square foot. So as you can tell, just from going into these, they have, properties, from 465,000 all the way up to 1.2 million, 1.2 million, 1.29 million, 1.2 and a half with a pool. I mean, these properties are, obviously they're vastly different in price ranges. So if you wanted to live in West Ranch, you most certainly could do so without breaking the bank. You can still live there. So let's go hop in the car real quick and I'll take you guys around West Ranch so you can see firsthand what it looks like in the community when we'll drive around it together. Let's go. West Ranch is one of the most popular communities in Friendswood, and the community was developed on over 760 acres and features 1,300 home sites. 20 acres is reserved for commercial and 100 acres was reserved for community recreation and parks. Average sales price is sitting at a whopping $824,000 and an average price per square foot of $206. The average size of a home here is 3,919 square feet. Average rental rates in West Ranch is $4,800 per month. The tax rate here is 2.2%, and HOA fees range from $1,200 to $1,550 depending on the section that you live in. The community is located in Galveston County and is zoned to the highly sought after A+ rated Friendswood Independent School District. All right, guys, so let's jump into the next community that we're going to talk about here in Friendswood. And I want to jump over, we just showed you West Ranch, and that is in the Galveston County side. So let's jump over to the Harris County side and see what you can get versus, dollar for dollar kind of comparison. So let's go ahead and jump into my screen. The first thing that we're going to look at, the first neighborhood we're going to look at on the Harris County side is called Autumn Creek. Now, Autumn Creek is right off of 528 in Bay Area. So I'll zoom in, 528 in Bay Area, and you will find that this little portion right here, you see where it says Autumn Leaf, Maple Hill, Red Maple. This is all going to be part of Autumn Creek. It's a little smaller community, but it looks like you might get a little bit more bang for your buck. And remember, this is the Harris County side, not the Galveston County side. All right, so let's see what kind of property that we can get here in Autumn Creek. Autumn Creek is a really nice neighborhood. It does feature a couple of swimming pools, community swimming pools, but let's see what we can get. All right, so let's take a look at some recently sold listings here. So we have, let's see, a $558,000 home. That's what it's sold for. 5 bedrooms, 3.5 bath, 3,610 square foot. So it's not too terrible. It looks like it might be the same kind of comparison against West Ranch. So we have a 3,600 square foot home for $558, a 3,900 square foot home for $607. We have a 4,100 square foot home with a $668, and a 2,400 square foot home for $400,000, 3,300 square foot home for $535. So let's see what kind of property is here on Autumn Harvest. Let's take a look. This one looks like it has a pool in it. This is a little bit older of a community than West Ranch is. You see, you still have a little bit of yard space here, which is nice. The front elevation looks a little bit different, vastly different from West Ranch. You can see the comparison. Looks like you have a 3-car garage, side loaded here, and then a single over here in the front. As soon as you walk in, looks like you have a study over here to your right, which would be this guy here. Color scheme, yeah, it's not too dated. I mean, it still looks good, still looks nice. At least it's not all light gray and white. We have tall ceilings in here, so probably about 20-foot ceilings, and there's crown molding around it. It looks pretty good to me. What do you guys think about this one? Let's see, the kitchen area. So you kind of have this bar top over here by the kitchen. Kitchen, not too bad. Not the best I've ever seen, but it's not too bad. It still looks really nice. You have a drawer microwave. Those look really cool, by the way. If you've ever seen a drawer microwave where you hit the button, just comes right on out. Master bedroom, looks pretty spacious, looks pretty big. You have a barn door there. Not too big on barn doors anymore. Wow, the master bath looks really nice. They did a good job there. Let's take a look at the closet. Very spacious closet, very nice closet. A little workstation for the kids to do their homework. Looks like you have kind of like a gaming area up here. But overall, I think this property looks wonderful. I love the back patio. Back patios are awesome, especially when it rains. You want to sit out there and just kind of chill outside. Back patios looks great. Looks like you have, it looks like Pebble Tech, not really cool decking, but you have Pebble Tech probably there. And you have your hot tub jacuzzi with your swimming pool, and you still have some yard space, which is nice. I've seen some houses that just don't have any yard space at all once they put in a pool, which kind of sucks. You know, if you have a dog, they have nowhere to go and do their business. They don't really have anywhere to run around, but at least you have the yard space here. Landscaping may not be the best right here, but I mean, you have a kind of like a blank canvas to do with what you will with it. But $607,000 is what it sold for, and it sold back in May. But yeah, $607,000 with a pool for almost 4,000 square foot. Sitting on maybe a quarter of an acre, a little over a quarter of an acre. It's not too bad. HOA fee, $66 annually, not too bad. Built in, yeah, here we go. So that was built in the early 2000s. So 2002 is when this property was built. So it's a little bit older of a neighborhood than West Ranch, obviously, but I don't know, tell me what you guys think about this one. It's an older home, but it looks like it's been kind of taken care of from the pictures for $607,000 with a pool for 4,000 square foot, 4 bedrooms and 3.5 bathrooms. Okay, so let's take a look at the next one. This one is a 4 bedroom, 3.5 bathroom, 4,100 square foot. Listed or sold at $668,000. And let's take a look at this one on Harvest Hill. Oh, look, it even has a pool and a lot of yard space, and it has some solar panels. That's kind of cool. Here's a quick tip for you guys that are shopping for homes, especially here in Houston or anywhere for that matter. So if a property has solar panels, this is one thing you absolutely need to watch out for. If a property has solar panels and it's not paid off, if the homeowner that's selling the house has not paid off, guess who's liable for that loan if they cannot pay it off with the proceeds that they get from the house? You are going to be able to have to take over that loan payment. So if they spent $50,000 to put these panels on the roof and they have not paid off that loan, and they can't pay off that loan when they sell their house, maybe they don't have enough proceeds to net from the sale, then you are either going to walk away from the deal, or 2, you're going to have to take over the payments. And so that's something to consider and watch out for with solar panels, because a lender is not going to add that into your financing. So let's say if you're approved for $700,000 and you bought this house at $668, the lender's not going to say, oh, okay, well, you're approved for $700 and this loan here, is $35,000 left over for the solar panels. Well, we'll use that leftover to buy the solar panels and pay off the loan. That's not how that works, and no lender in the world is going to do that. So you're going to have to assume the original loan for those panels from this homeowner, if that's a big if they cannot pay them off with the proceeds. So just something to pay attention to whenever you are house shopping. But let's look at this pool, man. This pool looks beautiful. Very well put together, very well landscaped. Look at this, landscaping looks beautiful as well. I love the amount of yard space that they have left over. They kind of put the pool right in the middle. I like that, actually. I like how the pool is right in the middle and is not kind of off to the side in an awkward position. It's like you walk out, right there is your lagoon. Looks beautiful. Let's take a look at the inside. So as soon as you walk in, you have this little staircase here. Looks like you have an office to your left. The dining room, yep, to your left, and the office to your right. You have tall ceilings, so you're not feeling claustrophobic. And look at the view out here, so you can see your pool. And then we have, looks like a little fireplace here, nice little mantle where you can mount your TV. Pretty decent, nice cabinetry here, nice. Look at this, we have, let's take a look at what the kind of stove they have here. And I can zoom in. That is a Thermador. So you have a Thermador appliances. So you have 2 ovens going on here with multiple, like look at all the burners, including the ovens. I mean, this property was well worth, in my opinion, $668,000 with the pool, solar panels, decked out kitchen like this with the high-end luxury appliances. I mean, I personally think that it was worth the money that it sold for, and so did the buyer, obviously, because they ended up buying it. Here is the master bathroom, which looks pretty nice. It looks pretty, I like how this a walk-in shower, there really isn't anything closed off. It's just a true walk-in shower. Let me know what you guys think about these types of showers. You just walk right on in. So the bathroom looks pretty decent, looks pretty good. Have a pretty decent sized closet. And then, yep, here we go, some more pictures of the outside of the pool. We have a hot tub here, nice little, that's probably like a little marlin or a dolphin. Looks nice, look at that. And then this is amenities. These are neighborhood amenities right here. Yeah, the playground. Tell me guys what you think about this one. Do you think this one is worth it? Now remember, this is on the Harris County side. It's not zoned to Friendswood Independent School District, it's zoned to CCISD. And so you tell me what you think. This is zoned on the Harris County side, or it's on the Harris County, zoned to CCISD, so you're not looking at Friendswood school districts, but you don't have to carry windstorm insurance, which is nice, and your taxes are probably super low too. I think the tax rate here is around 2%, and HOA dues are pretty low as well, 66 bucks a year. You can't beat it. For 4,100 square foot home, I mean, selling price per square foot is sold at $162 a square, sitting on more than a quarter of an acre, a third of an acre. I mean, I think it's worth it. You guys tell me. So let's go back and take a look at one more. Here's on the lower end, we have $400,000 here on Indian Summer. So it's kind of a smaller home, 2,500 square foot, 4 bedrooms, 2 bath for $400,000. Let's go through the pictures real quick, take a look. Not too much, kind of average home, nothing spectacular about it, but it still looks like a really good home. You don't have the tall ceilings like in the last one, but it's also a much cheaper price. We're at $260,000 less. So not too shabby. If affordability is something that you're looking for, this may have been a contender for you. But let's go take a look at this neighborhood. Let's jump in the car and go drive around and go take a look at some of the elevations, the street views and things like that of what Autumn Creek is on the Harris County side of Friendswood. So let's go take a look at Autumn Creek. Autumn Creek is a beautiful neighborhood situated near the intersection of Bay Area Boulevard and FM 528 with proximity to I-45 and Baybrook Mall. It is the neighboring community to Friendswood Oaks and has a total of 483 home sites. The median home value here is $442,000 and a median home size of 3,300 square feet, making the price tags coming in at $147 per square foot. The median lot size in Autumn Creek is 10,100 square foot. The community also features a neighborhood pool and various walking trails for outdoor activities. The HOA dues are $795 annually and the tax rate is an attractive 2%. Autumn Creek is located in Harris County and is zoned to Clear Creek ISD. All right, so we're gonna move on to the third neighborhood on the list, which is the Forest of Friendswood. And the Forest of Friendswood is a lovely tree-lined neighborhood with spacious lots that's really close to everything. So let's dive back into the computer and I'll show you guys where the Forest of Friendswood is located. So as you can see, we still have 45 here. It's right off of 2351. You'll see right, let me zoom in, Clear Lake City Boulevard and East Edgewood. So on here, it's showing it's East Edgewood, but it's 2351. But we'll take 45, 2351 all the way down till we get into the Friendswood area. And then you'll see right in here, this is going to be the Forest of Friendswood. Now, the Forest of Friendswood lives up to its name. Honestly, it's a really nice neighborhood with it looks like a neighborhood inside of a forest. It's a beautiful community. And what's really interesting with the size of this community is there's not a lot of turnover in this neighborhood, which is weird, right? So if there's a neighborhood that has 500 homes, maybe 600 homes in it, and there's just not a lot of turnover, that should tell you something. People really enjoy living there and will probably hold on to the property until they die. I don't know, but people love the neighborhood. I know that much, and it's a really nice neighborhood. So let's take a look and see what type of property you can expect and some different price ranges inside the Forest of Friendswood. All right, so diving in here, let's take a look. So we have 5 bedrooms, 4 bath, 4,200 square foot, listed at $743,000. A 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath, 4,200 square foot again for $960,000. That one's probably sitting on some nice piece of land, and it does have a nice pool. beautiful. 960K, that's quite a bit. So we have 4 bedrooms, 3 baths. On this one, this is 3,300 square foot for $659. You can just tell from these little thumbnails that these properties are sitting on a large plot of land. So these lot sizes are definitely big. This one looks nice with the twilight photo. Let's take a look at this one. 795, 4 bedrooms, 3.5 bath, 4,000 square foot with a pool. Let's take a look at this. So one thing I like about the forest too is not all of the properties look the same, right? So they all have some sort of characteristics to them rather than just the same cookie cutter home after home after home after home. They all look kind of different from each other, which is really nice. And the landscaping is all different. Like this neighborhood is just one of my favorite neighborhoods. If you want to call Friendswood your home, I'd highly encourage you to check this neighborhood out. I mean, it looks really beautiful. Let's see, we'll take a look at the pool back here. You can tell they've done a lot of landscaping, although I would hate for this tree to be right here and then just have to constantly mess with leaves in the pool. But man, you can tell the elevation, this one looks really nice. So we have a 3-car garage, extended long driveway here, somewhere to park your camper if the HOA doesn't freak out about it. I mean, can you imagine yourself sitting out here on this little coffee table in the morning time, watching the sunrise, just drinking your coffee? And you can just tell, and all these trees around here, you kind of seem like you're in the forest a little bit, but it looks really nice. We have a covered patio back there. Let's take a look at the interior and see what the interior looks like. So that'd be the front door, hardwood front door. So I've closed off staircases. The kitchen is what it is. It's not the most extravagant kitchen I've ever seen, but it looks nice. You have your quartz countertops here. Yeah, I could definitely tell that's quartz. And then we have a nice, looks like stone veneer gas fireplace. Looks like a built-in gas fireplace, gas log. We have a piano over here, okay. So the ceilings aren't as tall as the other ones that we've seen so far on this neighborhood tour, but it looks pretty good. Looks pretty decent. It's 4,000 square foot home. I mean, if you want to make some adjustments and call this your own, to each their own though. Some people are like, I'm not spending this kind of money until it's turnkey, or some people don't mind spending the money because they want just the physical property of it and then they can make it their own as they live in there. But let's take a look at the next one and see what else we got. So we have so we just looked at the 795. Let's look at let's see here. Let's take a look at the 743. 743. So we have a 4,200 square foot, almost, 43, almost 70 square foot shy of 4,300 square foot, 4 bedrooms. It's built in 2002. Annual tax is $13,000. And we have, where's the lot size? Here we go. Lot size is sitting on almost half an acre. So again, this is kind of similar to the one we just looked at actually. 3-car garage, extended driveway. This staircase is a little bit more open. And this one does have tall ceilings. So this one's cheaper than the last one. Not sure exactly why, but we can dive into that and do a little bit more research. But now look at this bookshelf, hardwood built bookshelf. Not a big fan of just the whites and grays. I wish there was some color in some of these homes, but hey, it's one of those things where if you find a house that, you don't like the color, but it fits everything that you were looking for in school districts and just the size and layout. And if it's something that you don't mind, that you can just, slowly but surely kind of make it your own. Taste is all subjective, right? My taste isn't going to be the same as your taste. Everyone has their own style and their own taste. That's it. But overall, I think this property looks good. Let's see if we can get to something out in the backyard. So this one does have a pool as well with a nice little hot tub, some shrubs and some bushes, some landscaping, and it is sitting on a pretty decent sized lot. So we have tons of yard space out here. Kind of looks like, again, a house in the forest. So these are all the sold properties. So let's go take a look at the forest of Friendswood so you guys can see what it's like to live in this, I don't know, livable forest in the neighborhood, or livable neighborhood in the forest. The forest of Friendswood is known for its wooded and spacious lots, beautiful homes, and great community atmosphere. This neighborhood comprises of 640 homes that range from single story to custom built homes by reputable builders. The median lot size is 14,500 square feet. The median home value is sitting at $636,000 and a median price per square foot at $185. The median size of homes here in the forest is 3,500 square feet. The community also features forest-like walking trails and is minutes away from popular golf courses. The tax rate here is an attractive 2%, and the annual HOA dues are $625. The forest is located in Galveston County and is zoned to Friendswood ISD. All right, y'all, so it's time to move on to our next community. And this neighborhood I'm about to tell you about is probably one of the most unique communities in all of Friendswood, or probably even the most unique community you may ever even seen. And so let's dive into my laptop and I'll show you why this neighborhood is so unique. So the name of this community is called Poly Ranch. Poly Ranch is, so we have 528 right here and we have 518. So Poly Ranch is located right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and zoom in a little bit. And you'll see it's just right off of 518 and East Parkwood Drive, which is 528. And this right here is going to be Poly Ranch, where you see Airline Drive, Butler, McKissick, and Pine Drive. So I'll go ahead and draw a little circle around all of this for you. So this is all Poly Ranch. Now, the reason why this community is so unique is right here on Airline Drive and Butler Drive and Oak Drive. This in the middle is its own runway. So it has its own private runway or private airport. So, and I'll show you guys here, let me switch over to the satellite view and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. So I'll zoom in. This right here is its own private runway. And all of these houses lined up on the runway have their own private hangar. So if you're in aviation and you have your own private, your own personal private aircraft, or you have a helicopter, this is a neighborhood for you. Every last one of these houses have their own airplane hangar, which is really cool. And I'll show you guys some pictures of the inside of what it looks like here in just a moment. But Poly Ranch is super close to 518. We have HEB over here, just a stone's throw away to Friendswood High School over here on the left-hand side of the screen. And if you need to get to 528 to get to 45, it's right there. So 45 is probably a good, let's say 10 minutes maybe from this location of Poly Ranch. So let's dive into some real estate and take a look at what you can expect or what the different properties look like here in Poly Ranch. And I do want to mention that Poly Ranch is an older established community. So you're going to see a lot of homes that were built in the 80s, some homes that have been knocked down and maybe rebuilt with new construction homes on there. But for the most part, this community has been around for quite some time. So you're going to see a lot of older homes here, but nonetheless, let's dive in and take a look at what some real estate looks like here in this community. Okay, so here are some recently sold listings, some dating back to 2023 and 2022. Those are pretty old. But we have here, let's see, 2414 Airline Drive, $357,000 is what it's sold for. Looks like it is 3.88 acres, almost 4 acres. And the list price was almost $700,000. So whoever purchased this purchased it at almost 50% below their original list price, which is quite impressive. Now, one thing I can see just by looking at this property, I'm willing to bet that this acreage right here, which is nice if you're looking for acreage, but this acreage right here is more than likely in a flood zone. The easiest way to verify this is you can copy this address and then you can head on over to FEMA's Flood Map Service Center. So you can go to FEMA.gov and then go for flood maps and you'll be able to type in the address. So I'll do that for you right now. Okay, so I pasted the address here in this flood map center, and what we're gonna do is hit the search bar and it should pop up with the map. And it might take a little while to load. Okay, there we go. Now that it's loaded, so you can see here is where our address is. and it is in the blue shaded section. And you'll be able to see right here in this, there it goes, Zone AE. So Zone AE is considered the 100-year floodplain. And so you will be required to carry windstorm insurance if you are financing a property for any property that is in the 100-year floodplain. The insurance carriers will also require what's called an elevation certificate, but you don't have an option when you finance a property inside of a flood zone. The lenders that you are working with will force you to carry flood insurance. So just food for thought whenever you are purchasing a home. If you are curious if the home is in a flood zone or not, you can always go to FEMA's website. Just type in for FEMA flood maps, and then you'll be able to type in the address and get your answers. So the blue is zoned AE. So any property in the blue shaded section is going to be the 100-year floodplain. And this little gold section out here is going to be Zone X. Zone X is a 500-year floodplain with very small risk of flooding. So you will not be required to carry flood insurance. So bouncing back over here, here's a nice little photo of the runway that I was telling you about. So you can see that all of these houses lined up in the backyard of their house, they have their own little private storage, or their own private hangar to store their aircraft in, which is really cool. So it's easy takeoff if you're on one of these properties. It's easy takeoff. You just load up your plane, get on the runway, and head on out of there. If you're gonna fly to Lake Charles, Louisiana, or wherever it is you need to go, you can easy in and out access. So very unique neighborhood for sure. So that one was $357,000 that sold, and it was about 4 acres. Let's take a look at something that's around $500,000. This one's a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 3,000 square foot, and it sold for $548,000. So let's take a look at what this will get you. This was built in 1979. And like I said, it's on half an acre over here in Poly Ranch, 3,000 square foot, $548,000. It was listed at $599,000, so basically $600,000. And they got it for almost 10% off than the original list price. Let's scroll through some of the photos so you guys can check it out. So it looks homey to me. You know, it's not the same grayed out, gray and white, gray and white, gray and white. It actually has a nice little bit of color here. You can tell it's an older home, has a little bit of character though, which is really nice. Looks like the kitchen's back in there, and then you have the open stairway up there. And I believe this is like the wainscoting, which is pretty nice. Granite countertops, cabinets look in good condition. I love the color of the flooring that they chose here. Looks beautiful. Nice walk-in shower, double vanities. But all in all, a nice piece of property sitting on half an acre. And then you do have a large garage. All right, let's take a look at this one. We have 2402 Airline Drive. I don't know if this one, I remember this one. I don't know if it's gonna be on the actual runway or not, but let's take a look. So this one here is a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 3,300 square foot. That's at $272 per square. And it is built in 1984. Annual tax rate is $8,000 before exemptions. Now this house looks pretty unique. It's actually gorgeous. Look at the pool, the fire feature back there. The stone decking looks amazing. You have white brick. This looks beautiful. This is a beautiful home. You have black windows with the white interior and the wood look floors, or the wood floors. We have a black stone fireplace. This is gorgeous. Oh look, they have a little baby grand piano in there. And we have the black countertops here. I'm not a big fan of the brown backsplash, but hey, at least they added some color in there, and it's not the same gray, black, gray, black, gray, white, gray, white. They added a little bit of color. This nice picturesque window. Look at this. That is beauty. That is gorgeous. Master bathroom here with the, looks like a tub, probably a ceramic tub. Yep, nice walk-in shower, upstairs study. And then we have our pool feature and our covered patio. This is a gorgeous property. And how many acres was this? This is 1.3 acres in Friendswood, 1.3 acres. So this one looks like it backs up to Clear Creek. So this is probably gonna be in a flood zone, but you can always verify that information when you go to FEMA's website. All right, let's take a look at one more property inside Poly Ranch. Now this one here that I'm about to show you does have its own private hangar, and you can see what one of those properties are gonna look like. And I'll show you this property before we go out and do our neighborhood drive-bys. So this one is at 2405 Airline Drive out here in Friendswood. We have $1.4 million, 4 bedrooms, 4.5 bath, 3,800 square feet. So let's take a look at this. Looks like this is gonna be the property right here. Nice gated driveway, which is nice. Look at, check this out. They have their own hangar with their own aircraft, their own personal private aircraft. That is awesome. So some wallpaper in there. Wallpaper is making a big comeback. So if you guys like, this is actually some decent wallpaper, I think. Maybe not too much color, but wallpaper is making a comeback. So check out the kitchen. So the kitchen is gorgeous. Beautiful granite, beautiful stone. Cabinetry looks great. The vent hood looks gorgeous. We have the Wolf appliances. There's probably a Wolf refrigerator as well. And then we have the in-drawer microwave, which is super nice. Butler's pantry, a wine cooler, an extra refrigerator. Very nice, lovely home. Let's take a look at the backyard. We have a covered patio. Ooh, and we have a pool. Very nice. We have a grill, outdoor kitchen, nice pool with a spa. Beautiful. This is gorgeous. Gorgeous property. I can see why it sold for 1.4 million now. And there we have the personal aircraft hangar, which is really nice. There's the aircraft. Just park your airplane in there if you got one. And then easy access to the runway for easy takeoff. So what do you guys think? Do you think $1.4 million is worth it for a home that is on your own private runway and you have your own aircraft hangar that you don't have to pay rent for? If you are big in aviation, I feel like this would be a nice community for you. But again, you're gonna pay for it. The property's not cheap over here on the runway with your own personal aircraft hangars. But you guys tell me, can you see yourselves living in this community? Is it worth it? 1.5 million? Well, let's take a drive to Poly Ranch so you can see some of the different elevations, the different types of homes that you can expect to see inside Poly Ranch, and let's go right now. Poly Ranch is the most unique community you probably will ever find. This neighborhood has 195 home sites and features its very own private runway for your personal aircrafts. There are several homes that have their very own hangar for aircraft storage and immediate access to the runway for those quick and easy takeoffs. The median home value here is right under $700,000 and the median price per square foot right at $229. The median size of homes here is 3,125 square feet. Median lot size in Poly Ranch is just shy of an acre, sitting at 38,900 square feet. The median age of homes in Poly Ranch falls into the early 1980s. The tax rate for this community is 2% and the HOA dues are surprisingly low at $125 annually. Poly Ranch is located in Galveston County and is zoned to Friendswood ISD. All right guys, this next community that I'm gonna tell you about is called Heritage Park. And Heritage Park is probably the largest community in all of Friendswood. And what's really cool is it's probably the most affordable community in all of Friendswood. And also it's the closest to all of the major freeways. And so we have 45, Baybrook Mall, we have 528, we have El Dorado. So it's very close to all of those access points to get to 45. You're the closest neighborhood to Baybrook Mall. And like I said, it's probably the most affordable community in all of Friendswood as well. And it's also important to note that Heritage Park is located on the Harris County side of Friendswood, not the Galveston County side. So in Heritage Park, you're gonna be zoned to Clear Creek ISD. Again, make no mistake though, Clear Creek or CCISD is still a phenomenal school district. It's just a much larger district. I really wanted to include Heritage Park here in this video because I feel like whenever you YouTube various areas to do your research on, a lot of people just want to showcase and show off all these $1 million homes. And it feels like when I did my search that, you know, the working class or the middle class folks are always being forgotten about, and I didn't like that. So I want to include some more affordable options for those people out there who are looking for something a little bit more normal, right? Something a little bit more working class. So Heritage Park is a great community. They have like several different, they have like 3 or 4 different community pools, a bunch of different parks, and they're zoned to really good schools too. So let's dive into my computer and I'll show you guys exactly where Heritage Park is. Now Heritage Park, if you look, is zoned about right here, or not zoned, that's located right about here. Like I said, we have easy access to El Dorado. We have Bay Area Boulevard coming right here to Baybrook Mall. And then we also have 528 if you're on the on this side of Heritage Park. So you have very easy access to get to 45, to get to wherever you need to go, northbound towards Houston or southbound towards Galveston, League City, things of that nature. And also, if you need to get to the middle of Friendswood, you could take this road right here to get to 518. So you're super close. I mean, you're kind of like sandwiched in the middle of all of this good stuff. So let's take a closer look at Heritage Park so you can kind of see what normal property would look like here in this community. Okay, so let's take a look at this one. We have 4518 Backenberry Drive, sold for $426,000 back in August of 2024. 5 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, 2768 square foot. Then we have another one here for $282,000. 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, 1500 square foot, not too bad. But we also have a 4 bedroom, 2.5 bath, 2500 square foot with a pool for $350,000. Let's take a look at that one. Not too big on the power lines being in the backyard like that, being super visible, not my taste, but hey, someone liked it enough to buy it, which is all that matters, right? So we have a 2-story home here. We have a 2-car garage, nice cabinets. We have the gold Venetian granite, and let's see what the inside looks like. Not bad, not bad. So we have, looks like either some luxury vinyl or some laminate planks. Venetian gold countertops, stainless steel appliances, kitchen's not bad. We have, it looks like a gas fireplace. We have 4 bedrooms, and it kind of looks like the master bedroom is probably upstairs. So that's one thing to pay attention to when you're searching for property is if you don't want the master bedroom to be upstairs, then we need to make sure that it's listed like that, and we can tell that if the master bedroom is upstairs or downstairs. But you get this nice little covered patio out here, which is cool. Those are very expensive to add on nowadays. So if you wanted a covered patio, ideally, you'd want to buy a house that already has one in there. And same thing with the pool. If you're wanting a pool, ideally you'd want to find a house that already has a pool installed, because the cost of installing a pool nowadays are astronomically higher than they were pre-COVID. But again, everything else was as well. It looks like they're missing the diving board. So who knows the type of condition this pool was in when they did their home inspections, but they actually purchased it, $349,000. And again, this one is a 4 bedroom, and we have 2.5 bathrooms. This one's built in 1996, almost 2,500 square foot. Not too bad. All right, let's go further down in price. We have 3203 Signal Hill Drive for $265,000. This is a 3 bedroom, 2 bath, 1,600 square foot home, sold back in August of 2024. All right, so we have this one pulled up from Heritage Park, and just by looking at the pictures, it looks like there's a need for a lot of love and a lot of remodeling here, some fresh paint, needs new floors. But hey, it's a house for $265,000 that you can get into and create it as a blank canvas if you want to. You can make this your own with all of your style and all of your colors if that's something that you were looking to get into. But I can see why this house sold for $265,000. It does look like it needs a little bit of work. Let's take a look at another house. All right, this one's 4 bedrooms, 2 bath, 1,800 square foot, almost 1,900 for $329,000. Let's take a look at this one. You can already tell this one looks way better. Looks much more taken care of. Unlike the last house, looks like the roof is probably brand spanking new. We got a new fence around there. Oh yes, look at, there you go. We have the quartz countertops. We have a electric stovetop, stainless steel appliances, a microwave built in, or not really built in, but a little cubby for the microwave. Kitchen's open to the living room. Yeah, this looks good. So this, I wonder if this was an actual flip house for somebody and it was purchased after a flip and now they're selling it again, or if the person went in and decided to, remodel the whole house to make it look like their taste and how they wanted it. Kind of like the last house that I showed you for $260,000. They came in and probably, wanted to make it look like their own, give it their nice finishing touches. I love green. I feel like the green accent walls and green cabinetry, when done the right way, I feel like that's starting to become a nice little trend, and it gives it that earthy tone, or that natural foresty tone. I don't know, it just feels a lot more warm and inviting than this, the grays over and over again. As you can tell from this video, I'm not a big fan of everything being gray and everything being white. But you can tell this, this looks like they've done a good job on the home. They've taken care of it. So this one sold for $329,000, $177 per square, and it is 1,800 square foot. We have 4 bedrooms and 2 full bathrooms. That's $329,000. Do you feel like this property here is worth $329,000? Let me know in the comments if you feel like Heritage Park. $329,000. Again, you're in Harris County. Remember, you're in Harris County, not Galveston County. So let's go take a look at Heritage Park. We'll get on the ground level, do a drive-by in the neighborhood so you can see firsthand for yourself what homes look like in the community. We'll drive around the community so you can kind of get a feel for if it's something that you're looking for or not. So let's go ahead and get started right now. Heritage Park is one of the largest communities in Friendswood and features 3,541 single-family homes and is also the most affordable neighborhood within the city limits of Friendswood. Median home values in Heritage Park is $310,000 and a median price per square foot at $155. Median lot size here is 6,800 square feet and a median home size is just shy of under 2,000 square feet. The community was built in the early 1990s and is located in Harris County. The tax rate is very attractive at 1.9% and the annual HOA dues are a low $350. Residents here are zoned to Clear Creek ISD and enjoy quick and easy access to major freeways such as I-45 and is in proximity to Baybrook Mall. So the next area that I want to take you to is not really a named neighborhood per se, but it's around Friendswood High School and Sunset Drive next to Falling Leaf. So if you're wanting something completely custom and on some acreage, maybe a larger piece of land than your normal community, this is where you're gonna wanna be. If you have a bit of a higher budget, then the sky is the absolute limit here. So let me take you into the computer and show you exactly what I'm talking about and where this neighborhood is located. All right, so we have 528 right here and 518 coming down. So if we come up here on the northeast side, or northwest side, sorry, on Sunset Drive, so it's gonna be our focus, is Sunset Drive. And then I will zoom in here to show you exactly where we're gonna be at. So it'd be Sunset Drive, Falling Leaf, Castlewood, this part of town. So this is Friendswood High School right here. And then we are going to be focusing on kind of pretty much all of this area, the Greenbrier, Sunset Drive area. Now Sunset Drive, there's a ton of homes down this road. Not a lot for sale. A lot of people keep these homes. These are custom built homes that they build to stay in forever, but every now and then we'll find some really good ones that'll pop up and come on the market. But there are a few in this general area right here that I want to show you and take you to. Greenbrier Drive, you could see right here is right next to Friendswood High School. So if you have little ones that are going to be going to high school soon, this is an awesome spot to be in. There are a few homes down these streets that are on regular normal sized lots, and then there are homes all through here on this side of the street that are sitting on acreage, and then same thing over here and on this side. And then we do have a lot that's for sale around this area for, I believe, under 900,000. That's sitting on 3 or 4 acres, and it's not in a flood zone, which is really cool. But let's take a look at some property and what those kinds of houses will look like if you're looking for a little bit something more custom on some land. All right, let's zoom in. You can see we have Falling Leaf right here, Evergreen, and then we have Castlewood. So let's take a look at this first house. We have a $785,000 home. This one is currently for sale, and it's listed at $178 per square. 785,000, 4 bedrooms, 3.5 bath, 4,400 square foot, sitting on half an acre. And the year built was 1999. So let's take a look and see what kind of house this looks like. So looks like a traditional style home. Yeah, again, these are going to be older homes. You'll have a healthy mixture of older homes and new construction homes. Again, this is probably an area that people will probably buy houses that are really old, dilapidated, run down, and they'll tear them down and build something brand new, something in the $1 million range. But this house is a little dated for my taste, for $785,000. Not sure if they're gonna get it, but the location of this house is absolute prime because you are right next to Friendswood High School. And historically, houses over here do keep their value because of the location. So let's go ahead and take a look at another one. So it looks like we have a $1.5 million home, 4 bedrooms, 5.5 bathrooms, 5,780 square foot, with the price tag coming in at $259 a foot. And the year built was 1985. And let's see the acreage, the lot size is 1 acre. We have a black metal roof, which is gorgeous, beautiful. I love black metal roofs. These will last you forever compared to the normal composition shingles. Let's take a look. So we have a beautiful pool back here and a nice spa and a huge outdoor covered patio, probably with a kitchen as well inside. Looks like we might even have a guest house back here. This looks beautiful. This is a gorgeous piece of property. Look at the land. So we have, not only do we have a pool with a spa and a really large covered patio and outdoor kitchen area, but we also have a large green area for all of our pets or anything else that we want to do with the green space. So it's nice that you have all of these amenities in the backyard. It looks like also a guest house, and you still have yard space over. I hate the houses that just don't have anything left over. There's no green space whatsoever, but that's just my taste. Somebody may not even want any green space. They probably just want the pool and be done with it, not even have to mow or take care of their backyard, except for maybe some landscaping or something. But let's take a look on the interior. It's gray and white. Gray and white, of course it is. No color here, but it's okay. Somebody might like this. Taste is what, subjective, I guess, or objective, however you want to say it. But we have black and white, quartz countertops, stainless steel appliances. The kitchen is nice. The kitchen is big, spacious, which is something that I like. Let's take a look at the bedrooms. We have, this is probably wood look tile throughout the house. We have a really nice master bedroom here. Looks like a nice little vanity area. We have black windows, but $1.5 million. This, in my opinion, is probably one of those houses where pictures just don't show enough justice to the actual property. And you really have to lay eyes on the property physically inside to see for yourself what it really looks like versus the pictures. There are so many times where I have been inside properties when I looked at pictures on showing clients and I just thought it didn't look very good. And then you get in there and you're like, wow, totally blown away. So this may be one of those properties where you just need to go see it for yourself to truly appreciate the actual beauty of it. All right, so if you want acreage, check this one out. This one's $875,000 and it's almost a 4-acre lot. Wow. So we have over 100 trees on this property, which is nice. You're zoned to Friendswood ISD. Obviously, you have 500 feet of creek frontage, and much of the property is in Zone X or Zone X shaded, making the flood planning easier. So you are not Zone AE, as I mentioned earlier, but this property looks awesome. So if you're looking for raw land to build your dream home on, you can go absolutely all out with this and not have to worry about if you're going too much over the top and if you're gonna be able to get a return on your investment whenever you go to sell one day. If you ever did sell, you can tell this is probably over a $2.5 to $3 million property here. And the same thing over here to the right. So, and you're sitting on almost 4 acres right here with 100 trees in it, $875,000. They've been on the market for some time. So who knows if they'll get $875,000 for it, but hey, at least something is available, because land for sale, especially in communities like this or areas like this inside Friendswood, is an extreme rare occasion. So I can see why they'd want $875,000 for almost a 4-acre lot. You're not out in the country, you're right here in the heart of the city. So I can see it, I can see the value in it. Buyers may want to work them on price, who knows, but hey, at least it's available. So let's go drive around Sunset Drive and see what these houses are all about. All right, guys, so since we covered the area over there by Sunset Drive in Friendswood High School, there's an area that's very close to it, just right across the street from it, and we call that the Spreading Oaks area. Now, there are a few properties over there. It's just like the one on Sunset Drive that we just covered. If you want full-blown custom homes that are freshly built, or they're new construction, or if you want a new construction home that's currently being built, that's going to be your best chance to find them when it comes to full out custom homes. So there's only a couple that I'm going to show you here in Spreading Oaks. So let's take a look at my screen and I'll show you exactly where this is at. So if you look at my screen, we just covered the Sunset Drive area from Falling Leaf over here by Castlewood. This is the general area we were just taking a look at property. But if we come up here north a little bit, we're going to see 518 and Edgewood Drive. And this little area right here, Spreading Oaks, all the way to Edgewood or 2351. This is the area that we're gonna cover. What we're seeing today is a lot of builders and custom home builders are coming into these really old dilapidated homes in this area, and they are tearing them down and they are building brand new, beautiful, stunning homes for sale. I mean, just outright gorgeous. And so let's take a look at a couple of them. Some of them aren't going to be new construction, but let's take a look and see what's out there. There's two of them that I want to show you guys. So the first property I'm going to show you guys is right off of Spreading Oaks and right here off of Nova, so Terra Nova. So let's go ahead and click on this one. We have $1.8 million. It is a 5-bedroom, 4.5 bath, 6,056 square feet, putting the price tag at $305 per square on a half-acre lot size, $700 HOA dues, and it was built in 2008. So it is in Montebello. Montebello is an actual community, so it's not like, you know, you're not going to have just kind of like the Sunset neighborhood that we covered. So this is just one in this general area that I'm going to show you, but there are other properties that aren't really necessarily in a neighborhood per se, but they're sitting on larger lots where you can get away and without having an HOA. So we have a 3-car garage here, and a portion of it being side loaded. We have an entry gate coming in, which is nice. The elevation looks beautiful. We have a nice courtyard coming out here towards the front, walking up to the front door. Looks like you might have a small little storage area right here. And immediately when you enter the home, you're greeted with this magnificent staircase and stair railing. It looks a little bit too gaudy for my taste, but again, my taste doesn't matter. It's what you guys like at the end of the day. This landscaping is just super luscious, very beautiful. We have the brick here for the accent walls, a lot of trim work here being done. Looks beautiful, and this is open to the living room. Looks like we have Spanish tile here, a butler's pantry, butler's area. And then we have the gas stove top appliances, and then we have the white cabinetry, probably hardwood cabinetry, hopefully for 1.8 million. Then we have the laundry space with the secondary refrigerator, which is always nice, especially when you have a lot of kids. You know, they drink a lot of juices, drink a lot of milk. It's great to store all that stuff in there. The bathroom here is very detailed. You have a lot of detail. The ceiling is detailed. Coming out to the backyard, looks like we have a really nice covered patio here with the hardwoods for the ceiling. And then we have a nice, beautiful pool. Looks like Greece almost. Looks like, or Athens, I don't know, but it looks beautiful. Landscaping looks great. So that one was 1.8 million. Let's go look at the other one. So this one right off of Spreading Oaks is $2.5 million. And this one's 5 bedrooms, 3.5 bath, 5,000 square foot, 2.5 million with the price tag at $500 a foot, but it's sitting on a little over 6.5 total acres. So that's really cool. So if you're looking for acreage, you know, if you have the budget of 2.5 million and you want to be in the city or in the town of Friendswood, this is ideal for you. 6.5 acres. It looks like tons of mature trees around here, which is beautiful. We have an outdoor fireplace. We have a metal roof, which looks great. Those will last a lifetime. We even have a shop. Perfect. So if you have to store all of your toys, your boats, your ATVs, and then the entryway to get into the property, this looks nice. I wish this was concrete or paved, but it's okay. This will get you there, and you're living out in the quote unquote the woods out here, but you're not really in the woods. You'd be surprised as soon as you turn out of that driveway, you're right there in the city. Like you can get to 518 within seconds. So I love the feel though. You're on 6.5 acres and you feel secluded from the environment and from everybody else, but you're really not. You're just kind of in your own little bubble, your own little world, which is super cool. We have vaulted ceilings here, which is nice. The kitchen looks a little bit kind of small. Maybe it was just that picture or that angle, but it looks like we have Thermador appliances here. We have a double oven, which is nice, perfect. We have stainless steel, all of it stainless steel. This is a 5,000 square foot home with the tray ceilings. Looks like an extra large master bedroom. Then we have double vanities with a jetted tub, walk-in shower. We have our own safe room. Yes, so for all of you gun enthusiasts, this is perfect. You have your own safe room. You can call it your panic room if you want to, if you're not a gun enthusiast, but if you are, you have your own vault. You have your own vault where you can store all of your firearms. And if you have more than 2 or 3 dozen ARs or rifles or whatever, pistols, you can store all of your ammo and everything in there, which is beautiful. I love that they added that when they built this house. And this house was built in 2015. But I love the fact how it's sitting on 6.5 acres. You just can't beat that. So 6.5 acres. The price is high, don't get me wrong, $2.5 million. But man, if you're looking for luxury on acreage in the heart of the city, I can see why it's gonna be $2.5 million. We have a vaulted outdoor patio, outdoor kitchen. I mean, it's you have plenty of room to do what you want, when you want, which is super nice. So this is what you're gonna get. If you want 6 acres or more in the heart of Friendswood, you're gonna have to pay for it for $2.5 million. And this is located right off of that Spreading Oaks avenue that I was telling you about. So let's go take a look at Spreading Oaks, drive around, get a feel for the area. All right, y'all, the next neighborhood that we're gonna cover is called Friendswood Lakes. So let's dive into my screen and get after it. So you can see I already highlighted where Friendswood Lakes is. So we're gonna take, here's 45, here's 528. So we're gonna keep taking 528 all the way until we get to Friendswood Lakes Boulevard or Friendswood Parkway. So we'll zoom in here. There's not a ton of homes for sale in this community. But you can see the price ranges here from 700,000. We have an 859, a 675, a 879, and an 898, and an 825. So let's take a look at the cheapest one first. We go ahead $675,000, and let's see what this can get. So we have a $675,000 home for sale, 4 bedrooms, 3.5 bath, 4,300 square foot. Price tag at 156 a foot. We're sitting on about 1/4 of an acre. HOA due is $875 annually, and this home was built in 2007. Looks like we have a nice little spiral staircase going on here with some hardwoods. Looks pretty good. And tall ceilings when you enter the home. Looks like you have a study here, built-ins, which is nice. Oh, and it's closed off. That's pretty cool. So you do have a study that is closed off to separate yourself. And looks like we have 2 separate staircases. Looks like the staircase off of the kitchen is the second one. Kitchen looks nice. We have a stoned backsplash area, which is really cool. Kind of reminds me of a pizza parlor or something. Looks like we have 20-foot ceilings. We have an archway here, but you have a nice living room with beautiful views. So you have those little sunset windows, looks really pretty. You can tell this was built in 2007. So I'm willing to bet all of this tile here, this is all original to the home. I'm pretty sure I remember who the builder was. This tile was, popular back in the early 2000s, so I'm sure this is original to when the home was built. They never did anything with it. Same thing with this tile. I'm almost positive that this is all original to the home. Maybe not the carpet, but the tile work for sure. We have a nice landing area with a pretty large study up front, which is pretty nice. So if you have kids that need to do homework, or more than one kid that needs to do homework, they can come up here and do their homework. Send them upstairs, get them away from you so they can concentrate and do their work. Looks like we have a Nice little media room. Let's take a look at the next one. So we just took a look at the 675. Let's have a look at this 859 and see what this one looks like. This one has a pool. Looks like you have a back deck too, elevated back deck, second story, which is pretty nice. So still Friendswood Lakes. We're sitting on half an acre here and $795 annually, built in 04. So $859,000, 5 bedrooms, 4.5 baths for 4,600 square feet. And I wonder if this is on a cul-de-sac or at least a curve where it makes a 90 to the other road, but this looks beautiful. I love how the back deck is elevated and they can, you know, hang out up there. Looks like we have a second room maybe over here. A second mother-in-law suite possibly. I know some houses in Friendswood are built exactly like this, and they have the mother-in-law suites over here to the right. And nice staircase there. Beautiful hardwood floors. Looks like we have some nice hardwood kitchen cabinets, stainless steel appliances. You don't have the 20-foot ceilings in here like you did the last one, but you also have more square footage, and you do have a pool, and you're on a bigger lot. Oh, nice. It looks like there is a fireplace in the master bedroom for those beautiful romantic nights to get on nice and cozy in the winter. We have a stand-alone jetted tub, right kind of in the center of the bathroom. Double vanities. We have a play area upstairs, a game room area, pool table up there. So just to demonstrate of how big it is. And then looks like we have another study area upstairs, media room, nice covered patio, pergola outside with outdoor seating area, and you have your own pool. And then here we have the back deck for the lounging area or tanning, whatever you want to do up there. And you still have plenty of yard space. There we go. Here's some good shots of the yard. So you have plenty of green space left over. So this one's listed at $859, 4,700 square foot almost, and it's sitting on half an acre. So let's go take a drive through Friendswood Lakes so you can see on the ground level what the community looks like. Friendswood Lakes is a gorgeous community not far from 518 and 528 and is located in Galveston County. This neighborhood has a total of 220 home sites with a median lot size of 12,800 square foot. The community was established in the early 2000s and has a low tax rate of 2% before homestead exemptions. The median size of a home here is about 3,800 square foot, median market value coming in at $641,000, and a median price per square foot at $183. Annual HOA dues are $875, and Friendswood Lakes has great amenities to offer its residents, which include beautiful lakes that provide opportunities for fishing, paddle boating, lakeside walking or jogging trails, parks, tennis courts, and well-maintained common areas and green spaces. Residents with children are zoned to Friendswood ISD, starting with the 5-time Distinction Award winning Windsong Elementary, Friendswood Junior High, and Friendswood High School.